Okay, I've spoken about this before. There are people out there, we all know that they exist, people who excessively daydream. Daydream much more than the average person and have a hard time controlling it, talk in thin air, head in the clouds, look into space. And you know what blows me away? Is that we have trouble acknowledging that these people exist. We're so weirded out that we don't even want to talk about it. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen of the world? These people exist. These excessive daydreamers are out there. This should not be a taboo topic. We should be able to talk about this. Continue with the episode.
Average Dude has something to say about...
Okay, maladaptive daydreamers, you are not going to get respect. This crap from Hollywood, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, which had a decent budget, it's crapping on it. There was already a movie done in the 80s called The Never-Ending Story, which basically did the same thing. You got this kid that daydreams all the time, and the lesson learned at the end of the movie was, to hell with real life. Just completely abandon the real world and do nothing but spend your time in Fantasia. Great message for those who are already struggling to control their excessive, out-of-control daydreaming and live and just do simple things like cleaning dishes and doing laundry and getting just everyday things done. I'll tell you what, it blows me away. I've seen people whine and complain online that research being done, it's wasted money, that chemical dependency is where they really... I'll tell you what, the Alcoholics Anonymous, there's no Alcoholics Anonymous support group or chemical dependency support group for these people who have out-of-control daydreaming. These kids that are out in the play, and you can tell that they're talking to people that aren't there. There's no support group for this that's worth a crap. I've looked. All right, here's the support that you have. There is a YouTuber called GreyartisMD. The entire channel is devoted to nothing but maladaptive daydreaming disorder. All of the discussions are about it. This person also has like a radio, one of those internet radio talk show kind of things. Same thing. This person is the only one to... Do you realize how rare that is? This is someone that has such a ridiculously small audience, smaller than mine, and mine's pathetic. This person deserves to have a lot more attention because no one else is doing what the GreyartisMD is doing. I mean, wow. And aside from that, I've seen two blogs, websites. One called Wild Minds, which was created by Cordelia Amethyste Rose, who opened up and said, hey, this is me. A lot of courage there. But I got to tell you something about Wild Minds. I am seeing some haters and some people stirring trouble there. Cordelia, if you ever watch this, I would strongly recommend kicking more people out and moderating worth of crap because... come on, you of all people should get this. The lack of respect, no respect. This is one of two websites for this. Come on. They shouldn't... There's this. I have the links down below for the videos that I've done on this subject. That first one really struck a nerve. It is the most viewed by far, the most liked by far, and the most commented on by far. It struck a nerve. It struck a raw nerve. And it's obviously something that these people want so desperately to talk about. And this is some much needed feedback for the normal people out there, like the rest of us, okay? These people, I don't believe that it's entirely for attention. You got to figure that they have been hiding in the closet for all these years. They're not made to feel welcome to talk about it with adults, and certainly if they open up to this with peers, especially growing up as kids, you get made fun of, so you're certainly not going to talk. And they want, I imagine that it's not really so much for attention as they just want to talk about it without the judgment, without the crap, and without being told that you need to go to a psychiatrist to have psychotropic medication. I said earlier on, be very careful who you open up to about this. The medical community does not take this seriously, will misdiagnose it, and you do not screw around with psychotropic medications. Do not go that route unless you really need to. And even then, I would hesitate to. But bottom line is that there's not a lot of support. The other website that I saw was called the Experience Project, and it's about a lot of different situations, but there's one subgroup for maladaptive, for I suffer from maladaptive daydreaming. That seems to be the safest one, and that's it. That is your support group. And people who have this desperately need to talk about it. And I'll tell you what, I put this one to the test. When it came to online friends from Facebook and social media and that kind of thing, and family and friends in real life, I threw this subject out there. I just simply threw it out safely, like the whole, I just wanted to see. I told people that you would probably get a lot of blank stares and a lot of deer in the headlights, and I wanted to make sure that that was actually true. And sure enough, it was. I'll tell you what, when it came to social media, dead silence. They ignored posts or even personal messages. Ignored them. Didn't respond. And when it came to, you know, friends and family, it was like deer in the headlights, and I could tell that they were very uncomfortable. Again, very immature. Cannot talk about daydreaming or the excessive daydreaming. It freaks them out. And I changed the subject and steered it towards something else, and then, oh yeah, and then they talk about it, and you, which, come on, we've all seen that, when you talk about something and they're, yeah, okay, and then you change the subject, and then they get animated, and they're perfectly comfortable with changing the subject with you. Yeah, that's what you're going to get. A couple of my really close friends thought, they thought it was a joke. And one of them, and I'm not going to name names, said, yeah, I have to agree. I think it's silly that they put in a name to it. And I'll tell you what, for as insulting as that is, be thankful for that feedback, because that is the honest feedback. That's people being, all these people that clam up and don't, like family, they don't want to talk about it. This is their real thoughts on it. That's what they really think. They're just too immature and too cowardly to tell you that that's what they really think. That, no respect. Maladaptive daydreaming disorder. The people who daydream more than the average person, no respect. I would be very careful who you open up to about this. One person, was actually finally willing to talk about it a little bit, and that was it. And boy, do I know a lot of people in real life, let alone the whole connections line. I'll tell you what, I really wish that I could see the day with a lot of you where it would be talked about. Because I think that some, I imagine, want help, want treatment. It's that out of control. They desperately need treatment. I get that. But I would say for the majority, if not all, they want to be able to talk about it and not be laughed at or insulted or their friends be weirded out over it. And I think that applies to pretty much all of them. Everybody, take care.